Okay, so now in this lecture we discuss about the flare system. Okay, so this is the what do you mean by flare? Okay, so the flaring is a combustion control process in which the waste gases are piped to be promote usually elevated location and burn in an open flame in the open air. Right. So a specially designed burner tip, auxiliary fuel and the steam or air which is used to promote a mixing for nearly complete combustion. For example, greater than 98%, right? So the flaring process can produce undesirable byproduct including the noise, then smoke, heat radiation, light, then SOx, NOx, carbon monoxide and undesired source of the ignition. So however, the proper design can minimize this. Okay, so here you can see that the process equipment are there. Okay, this is again process equipment. After that you can see that the flare header are there. Okay, then drum is given and the water and the flare tip are given. So this is a whole flare system is given, right? Now the purpose of the flow system, which is the process plant can be subjected to excessive overpressure or the under pressure due to the process upset condition, right? The safety valve or rupture disc prevent the equipment from the reaching overpressure condition. For example, product it from exceeding design pressure by releasing the excess gases. Okay, the gas released in a process plant is generally hazardous. The primary purpose of a flare system is to the safety take the released gas to flare stack and burn it. So the flare system is also used for the burning gases due to the emergency venting. Example of the emergency venting gas flaring when a consumer shut down. Right. So this is the all about the flare system. Now the next one, which is the alarm. Okay. So here you can see that the various types of alarm are given. So the type 1 alarm, it is called the equipment status alarm, right? So the pump is on or off or motor is running or stop, right? This is using for the pump on off or the motor which is stop or closed, right? Then type 2 alarm, which is abnormal measurement alarm. So the measurement is outside of the specific unit, right? Then type 3 alarm, which is called an alarm switch without its own sensor. So the when it is not necessary to know the actual value of the process variable, only whether it is above or below the specified limit, right? Then type 4 alarm, it means that an alarm switch with its own sensor, right? So this serves as a backup in case of the regular sensor fail, right? And the type 5 alarm, it means it is an automatic shutdown or the startup system. Okay, so this is the various types of the alarm. Now the safety interlock, it is an instrumented system. It is also called SIS. It means a safety interlock system. Okay, so it is automatically start when a critical process variable exceeds specified alarm limit that define the allowable operating region, means that are starting on stopping the pump or shutting down the process unit, right? So only used as a last resort to prevent the injury to people or the equipment. So basically the SIF must function independently of the BPCS, right? So due to the malfunction or the power failure in BPCS. So thus the SIS should be physically separated from the BPCS and have its own sensor and the actuators, right? Then next one, which is the safety shutdown system. It means that SSS. Okay, so this include emergency shutdown and the emergency depressurization system, ESD and EDP. Okay, so first of all we discuss the ESD. So the ESD, which is classified in the three level 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so level 1 include the charge of general plant area which is shut down can activate ESD level 2 if necessary. So this level can only be activated from main control room in the process of industrial plant, right? ESD level 2, it means that this level shut down and isolate individual ESD zones and activate if the necessary, which is necessary EDP, right? And the ESD level 3, it means that it is a provider liquid inventory containment, okay. Now we discuss with the EDP. It means that due to the closing of ESD valve in a process, there may be some trapped flammable fluids, and there must be release in order to avoid any undesired consequences, such as a pressure increase in a vessel, in a piping, right? So for this emergency depressurization system are used in conjunction with the ESD system to release the such trap fluid to a safe location and a safe manner, right? Okay, here in this figure you can see that mitigate and prevent. First of all, we discuss with the normal, okay. So this is a process value at a normal condition. It is a process control layer. After that, the prevent, it means it is a shutdown system. In this shutdown system, the process will be shut down, and this is a process control layer because here the shutdown is occurred, right? The next which is the emergency shutdown because of the some problems are there, okay. So this is a safety layer for the workers and the industry, right? Okay, here a mitigate, it means that is you can see that the PSPs, it means a active protection layer. Then plant and emergency response, like this is a passive protection layer. Then emergency response layer, it is a mitigate layer, okay. So this is all about the safety shutdown system. Now the next one, which is the hazard and risk. Okay, what do you mean by hazard and risk? So the hazard is any source of potential damage, harm or adverse health effect or something or someone under certain condition at work, right? So it can cause harm or adverse effect to individual as a health effect or to organization as a property or equipment losses, right? It is called a hazard. Now what do you mean by risk? Okay, so it is a chance to probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect if exposed to a hazard, right? So it may also apply to situation with property or the equipment losses. So the risk is equals to the hazard into the exposure, right? Now what do you mean by the risk and hazard, which is it include the danger and the accident, okay. So the danger, it means that a relative exposure to the hazard, and the accident, it is an undesirable or unfortunate happening that occur, right? Unintentionally and usually result in a harm, injury, damage or loss and mishap, okay. Now next topic, which is hazard identification. It is a most important topic for the exam. So all hazard and possible accident event must be identified. Okay, first of all the hazard and accident will be identified. Then it is important to consider all the part of the system, operational mode, maintenance operation, safety system and the so on. So the all findings shall be recorded. Then no hazard are too significant to be recorded. Okay. So the Murphy's law must be borne in mind. If something can go wrong, so sooner or later it will. Okay. Now the hazard identification, it means that to keep a workplace safe and healthy. The first one, which is the workplace, to keep a workplace safe and healthy. Then employer should make sure that there are no hazard to which employee could be exposed, right? Then employer should look for the hazard in advance as a part of their risk management plan to prevent a potential accident. It is a hazard identification, right? Now here you can see that some processes are given for the hazard identification. So the conducting the hazard identification, consider the past, present and the future. Okay. Okay, first of all we discuss with the historical condition. means that what has gone wrong in the past, right? For the hazard identification, we also identify the past condition and present condition and future condition, right? So here, what has gone wrong in the past? For example, root cause, then historical record, then process experience, and the near misses. Okay. Then, it existing condition or the present condition, what could be go wrong currently, right? So it include the hazard identification. It is improved by the hazard identification workshop, then hazard study, then scenario definition, then checklist. Okay. Then the future condition. It means that what could be go wrong in the future, right? So it is managed by the change management. Okay. Then what if judgment and the prediction base. So here it is in the three conditions. This is a past, future, and present. We can identify the hazard. Okay. Now, the nature of the accident process, basically the chemical plant accident which follow the typical pattern. It is important to study then this pattern in order to anticipate the types of the accident that will occur. Right. So the fire as the most common, followed by the explosion and the toxic release. So with respect to the fatalities, the order reverses with the toxic release having the greatest potential of the fatalities. Okay. So here you can see that the one table is given, the type of the accident, probability of the occurrence, and the potential for the fatalities and the potential for economic loss. Okay, if the type of accident which is fire, then probability of occurrence which is higher, potential for fatalities which is low, and the economic loss which is intermediate. For the explosion, it is a probability which is occurrence which is intermediate, potential of fatalities which is intermediate, and the economic loss which is high, right? And the toxic release which is occurrence which is low, fatality is high, and again economic loss will be the low. Okay. Now the accident follow the three-step process. Okay. So the which type of process? So first of all, we discussed with the introduction part. The worker walking across a high walkway in a process plant stumbles, okay, and fall towards the edge. So to prevent the fall, he grabbed a nearby valve system, right? So unfortunately, the valve, the stem shears off and flammable liquid began to spew out. So a cloud of flammable vapor rapidly formed and is ignited by the nearby truck. So the explosion and fire quickly spread to the nearby equipment, and the resulting fire blast lasts for 6 days until all the flammable material in the plant are consumed and the plant is completely destroyed. Okay. So the most accident which follow the three-step sequence. Okay, the first one which is initiation, it means that the event that start the accident. Then propagation, it means that the event or event that maintain or expand the accident. And the third one which is the termination, it means that the event that stop the accident or diminish it in the size. Okay. Okay, here you can see that the step 1 which is initiation, it means that desired effect which is diminution, it means that ground procedure like grounding and the bonding, then inerting, explosion proof material, electrical, then guard lines and the guard, hot work permit and etc. Then propagation which is again diminish, it means emergency material then transfer, reduce the inventories and flammable material, then equipment spacing and the layout, non-flammable construction material. Okay, and the last which is termination, it is a desired effect which is increase the firefighting equipment and the procedures, relief system, sprinkler system, and installation of the check and the emergency setup valve. Okay, so this is the topic which is the nature of the accident processes. I hope you all understood about the today's lecture. Thank you for the watching. Thank you.